Hi, everybody. I'm back here today with another math lesson. So today we're going to work on 711, which is fractions in number stories. Okay, so let me get it to where you can see my board. All right, so here's a number line, and what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a fraction, and then we're going to compare that to 1/2. So is the fraction I give you going to be greater than or less than 1/2? So I think this one would be the easiest number line for you to use. So 2 over 2 is going to equal 1. All right, so if I go back up here, you can see how that's all right in a line. So they're equivalent. All right, so here's 1/2. So if I give you the fraction 0/2, you see that that is to the left of 1/2. So it's going to be less than. 0/2 is less than 1/2. If I give you the fraction 2/2, we see that that is to the right of 1/2, and so 2/2 is greater than 1/2. So let's look at fourths now. So look at this one, and again, right here, 4/4, same number in the numerator and the denominator equal 1. So in the middle of that is 2/4, and that lines up with our half. Excuse me. So if I give you the fraction 1/4, 1/4 is less than 2/4. If I give you the fraction 3/4, 3/4 is greater than 2/4. All right, so let's do a little bit of a warm up here. If we have Raphael has a pancake and he divides that into 4 equal parts, and I've already cut one just so it would save on time, what would the name of one of those parts be? Okay, 1 out of 4 or 1/4. All right, so then let's say we have Kim who has 4 pancakes. Pen won't stay put. Okay, now Kim had a sleepover and she had 7 other friends spend the night. So there's 8 girls, and she wants them each to have an equal amount of pancake. Well, if she had 4 friends, they could each have 1 whole pancake, but she didn't. So there's 8. What are we going to do? That they would each have an equal amount. So if I cut each of those 4 pancakes into 2 pieces, I would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 piece for each girl. Each pancake was divided into half, so each girl is getting a half of a pancake. For the next problem, I use the fraction strips that I made the other day for our lesson. So if we have 2 boys who are walking to school, so we have Michael who walks 3/6 of a mile, and we have Andre who walks 3/8 of a mile. Which boy walks the farthest? So if I line up my fraction strips on the end, so I think I said Michael 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, would be right there. Andre was 1, 2, 3/8 right there. So you can see that 3/6 is greater than 3/8. So we can compare fractions that do not have the same denominators. Okay. So I'm going to draw a line segment that is 2.5 inches. And I'm going to divide that into 1/2 inch segments. Okay, so how many segments do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could write 5 halves. I have 5 1/2 inches. All right, so I made up a story that goes with that. And so let's say that Kimmy's making bracelets. and she has some beads that are a 1/2 inch. So when she lays them end to end, they equal 2.5 inches. So how many beads did Kimmy have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each part of my line segment where I divided it equals one of her beads. Each bead is the same as one of those segments. So they're a 1/2 inch. So altogether, Kimmy has 2.5 inches. What if Kimmy wanted to make a bracelet that was 6.5 inches long? So I will make my line segment that is 6.5 inches long. Again, I'm going to divide it into 1/2 inch segments. And so if Kimmy laid out beads until she had her 6.5 inches, how many beads would it take, first of all, to make the necklace? Bracelet, sorry. So it would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 beads to make the necklace. Now, we learned up here that she already had 5, and we don't need to count those again. So if we just cross those off, all right, this shows us how many she still needs. So how many more beads does Kimmy need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she needs 13 for the whole bracelet, minus the 5 she has, equals 8 more. Okay? I have done this so many times that everything keeps disappearing now. All right, so let's try a couple more problems with that. All right, let's say that we have 5 granola bars and we have 4 friends and we want to share them equally with those friends. So there's a couple of different things we can do here. So I'm going to start with one. I would draw my 5 granola bars. Okay? Now, I've got 4 friends. So friend number 1 gets this one. Friend number 2 gets this one. Friend number 3 gets this one. And friend number 4 gets this one. Here's my problem. I've got one more left. So what can I do? If I divide this last one into 4 equal pieces, then each friend is going to get 1 whole and 1/4 granola bars. Okay, so I would write that as 1 and 1/4. All right, here's another thing I could do. Remember, there's always more than one way to solve a problem. And in fact, this is a very good way to check your work when you're doing that. So again, I would draw my 5 granola bars. And let's say this time I divide each one in half. Okay, so friend number 1 gets a piece. Okay, friend number 2 gets a piece. Friend number 3 gets a piece, and friend number 4 gets a piece. I have enough to do that again. So friend number 1 gets another piece. Friend number 2 gets another piece. Friends 3 and 4 get another piece. I still have this extra granola bar. What can I do? So if I divide that into 4, okay, just another way you can do that and still get 4 equal parts. So friend 1 got a half plus a half plus a 1/4. All right, so that would be 2 halves plus 1/4. 2 out of 2 equals 1 and 1/4. So again, I'm getting 1 and 1/4, same answer as I should. And even a third way. So again, draw my 5 granola bars. And this time, make that one just a tad bit bigger. This time, let's divide them all into 4 equal parts. Remember, I like to do that by dividing it in half and then dividing my halves. I get more visually equal parts. All right, so friend 1 is going to get 1/4 of this one, 1/4 of this one, 1/4 of this one, 1/4 of this one, 1/4 of this one. So friend number 1 gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fourths. All right, and so that's going to equal 4 out of 4 would be 1 plus 1/4. Okay, and so that's going to equal again my 1 and 1/4. Same answer. So lots of different ways to attack a problem. Eraser disappeared and now my paper towel disappeared too. Okay, let's try a few more problems. So let's go back to using, no, we don't need to for that. All right, Tony has 2 oranges that she wants to share. So let me just draw a couple of circles here for the oranges. All right, she's got 8 friends, including herself, that she wants to share with. So I would attack this by dividing each orange into 8 parts. Okay, so how is each friend going to get an equal amount? So friend 1 gets 2 sections. Friend 2, friend 3, friend 4, friend 5, friend 6, friend 7, and friend 8. So how much of an orange did each friend get? 2 parts, and they were each orange was divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each friend gets 2/8 of an orange. Okay, remembering those labels. All right, let's try another one. See, that's why I tell you guys not to do that, because it gets your board all streaky. All right, so David eats 2/3 of a salad. So here's the bowl. Kind of like making a peace sign to divide it into thirds. So if David eats 2/3 and his friend Soon eats the other part of the salad, how much does his friend Soon get? So Soon gets this, which is 1 part out of 3. So Soon gets 1/3 of the salad. All right. I want to look at fractions on the number line here real quick. We're about done. So my directions say the whole on the number line is the distance from 0 to 1. Each number line below shows more than one whole. Label the holes, then partition to locate and label the shown or given fraction. So here's my fraction. I want to find 1/2 on this number line. All right, so 0 is my beginning, and it ends with 4. So each of these marks is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need to find the fraction 1/2, and that's going to be between 0 and 1. It is not the middle of the number line, all right? Because 1/2 is going to be 1 out of 2 parts of a whole. This is a whole. So I'm going to divide that into 2 parts, and there's my fraction 1/2. All right, so the next one wants me to locate 2/4. Starts with 0, ends with 2. So the line in the middle is not 1/2. The line in the middle is 1. So then I need to divide between 0 and 1 into 4 parts. So I'm going to start with dividing it in half and then divide each of those sections in half. All right. So then this would be 1/4. Right here's the one I want, 2/4. Let me make an arrow there to kind of label that one. And 3/4, and then this would be 4/4 or 1. Okay. So you really have to pay attention to the numbers that are on a number line in order for them to help you. All right, so the next set of directions says write a fraction below each triangle to show the distance from 0. So going across my number line, I see 3/3, and it ends with 3. 3/3 would be equivalent to 1. Okay, so another 3/3 is going to be equivalent to 2, but it's also going to be 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3. So 6/3 or 2. So what would I label then? This 6/3 and one more third. Okay, so that would be 7/3. Could also be, if I did 3/3 would be 1. That would leave me 4/3. Still, my numerator is greater than my denominator. So take away another 3/3, which would be 2. And that's going to leave me 1/3. So 7/3 would be equivalent to 2 and 1/3. All right. Number 4 says we've got 2/8. And I see one mark between 0 and there. So each of these sections is going to be 1/8. So this would be 1/8. I'm just going to go ahead and label all of them. That kind of covers the next problem anyway that says label at least 2 more fractions on here. 6/8, 7/8. Here's my 8/8 are 1. 9/8, 10/8. All right, so here's 1, 9, 10. So I could either call it 10/8 or 1 and 1, 2/8. Or 10/8 minus 8/8 is going to leave me 2/8. Okay, so the 8/8 would be my 1, leave the 2/8. Okay. All right, so that has shown you how you can use drawings, you can use number lines. We have our fraction cards. You have your fraction circles, which when you get your math books back, you'll have that in the back. You can use the fraction strips that we made. You have an unlimited number of things that can help you solve these problems. So keep working on it. Talk to you next time.